The Galactic Council met once every 10 years. The hall was shaped like a giant dome, filled with light from floating crystals. Inside, hundreds of alien leaders sat in floating chairs, discussing peace, trade, and power. But this meeting was different. At the center of the dome stood High Lord Zelter, commander of the Draconian fleet. His scales shimmered gold, his tail flicked proudly behind him. His voice echoed through every speaker on every world. "Earth is weak," he said. Laughing, "They still burn fuel to fly their ships. They have no mind links, no antimatter bombs. They are nothing." The hall erupted with laughter. The Zelari clicked their claws in amusement. The Vald blinked in slow waves, a sign of agreement. Even the usually quiet Zyrines buzzed with cruel joy. "Why allow such a primitive species in the council?" asked Zelter. "What can they offer? A history of wars? Of burning their own sky?" More laughter. In one quiet corner of the hall, a single human sat. Her name was Ambassador Elise Monroe. She wore no armor, no glowing tattoos, no crown. Just a simple dark suit. She didn't smile. She didn't speak. She just looked at the floor, then slowly raised her eyes. "I understand," she said quietly. Her voice was soft but clear. "Earth will leave the council." The laughter stopped. "You agree?" Zelter asked, surprised. "You surrender?" Elise stood up. Her hands trembled slightly, but her voice was steady. "Earth came here in peace," she said. "We offered help. We offered friendship. But you laughed." She looked around the dome. "I hope you remember this moment," she said. "Not the words, but the silence that follows." Then she turned and walked out, back. On Earth, the president watched the speech from a dark room. Around him, generals sat with grim faces. On the screen, Elise stepped into her ship alone. "She did well," the president said. General Reyes nodded. "The fleet is ready. Begin Phase 1, the president said. "Let them laugh. Just a little longer." A few days later, in Draconian space, strange things started happening. A mining station on the edge of the Void Nebula stopped sending signals. 3 scout ships sent to investigate also vanished. "Pirates," one Draconian admiral said. "It's nothing." Then a patrol fleet of 30 ships disappeared near the Red Line, the border close to Earth's star system. "No wreckage," a technician whispered. "No explosions. They're just gone." Zelter growled. "It's sabotage. Cowards with tricks." Still, he sent another 100 ships to investigate. They, too, vanished. The Galactic News Network began reporting the story. "Another Draconian fleet missing," the voice said. "No trace left. No message, no survivors." Across the galaxy, people whispered, "Could it be Earth?" Someone asked. "No," another replied. "Earth has no power, no fleet that strong." But deep inside a hidden bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, something began to move. Machines that hadn't lit. Up in 100 years came alive. A cold voice echoed in the chamber. Terran protocol activated. Back in orbit around Jupiter, a station technician named Kyrene sat alone at his console. He was only 24. A rookie. He saw the data first. Control?" he called. "I think I'm seeing something weird." "What is it, Kyrene?" "There's a signal. Not one of ours. It's bouncing between moons. Fast. Really fast." "Trace it." Kyrene blinked. I think it's from a stealth ship." There was silence on the line. "Kyrene," the voice finally said. "Shut down the feed. Now. But now." He obeyed. Back on Draconia Prime, Zelter stood before a massive wall of screens. Each showed a different fleet gathering, arming, preparing. "We will crush Earth," he roared. "We will burn their blue world and show the galaxy who rules." The officers around him roared with approval. but far above them, in the quiet black of space, something else moved. No lights, no engine sounds, no warning. A Terran stealth cruiser drifted near the edge of their solar system, watching. Listening. Inside, a woman in a black uniform stared at her screen. Her badge read, Commander Vega. They're gathering, she said. Behind her, a man replied. Then it begins. And so, while the galaxy laughed, while Earth was mocked, while the Draconians prepared their fire. The Terran Shadow Fleet waited in silence, and the stars themselves held their breath. The darkness beyond Saturn was silent. No space traffic. No comms chatter. No visible ships. But the silence was a lie. In that emptiness, a fleet of invisible Terran ships drifted like ghosts. Their hulls absorbed light. Their engines made no heat. Even the best alien sensors could not find them. At the center of this ghost fleet was the TSS Nightwind, a command cruiser, so secret that even most humans didn't know it existed. Inside, Commander Vega stood before a curved glass screen. She watched as data filled it. Draconian fleet positions, supply lines, comms pulses, heat signatures. Any changes? She asked quietly. Lieutenant Sora shook his head. Still assembling. They've moved another carrier group near Dreller's belt. Looks like a trap. Vega narrowed her eyes. They think we'll come charging in, she said. Like they would. She looked down at the screen. The Terran plan was already in motion, and no one had seen it. On the colony world of Perithan, a Draconian admiral sat in his command seat, his claws tapped on the armrest. Around him, officers worked in silence. They were nervous. Too many ships had gone missing, but no enemy had been seen. No wreckage had been found. It made no sense. We will scan every sector, the admiral growled. If they're hiding, we will find them. His second officer hesitated. Sir, I think they're already here. The admiral's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? The officer showed a screen. It displayed an energy spike, small, almost nothing, but consistent. It's not ours, he said, and it moves between points. Fast. The admiral stood. Put all ships on alert. But it was already too late. Outside the station, in orbit above Perithan, the stars shifted just slightly. Then something flickered. For half a second, a shadow passed across the moon. Then it vanished. Back on Earth, President Darnell stood in the war room. The air was heavy. Before him stood General Reyes, Admiral Zhao, and Director Lin of Terran Intelligence. The Draconians have deployed 3 more fleets, Lin reported. But they still don't know where we are. Reyes smiled slightly. That's the point. Darnell crossed his arms. Are we ready? Zhao nodded. The Shadow Fleet is in position. Our Black ICAI has cracked all their encrypted channels. They won't know it hit them. Give me the estimate, Darnell said. 1 week, Lin said. Maybe less. In a small outpost on the moon Ganymede, Chiron, the young technician, sat alone again. He wasn't supposed to see anything. He was just on comms watch. But something strange appeared on his screen. It was a flicker. A brief flash of light, so fast it almost seemed like a glitch. Then another, and another, all from Draconian border space. He leaned forward, confused. Then came the alert. UNC Class Red contact logged. Protocol Echo initiate. Chiron froze. He'd never seen that code before. A black window opened on his screen. A single line of text blinked. You didn't see this. Shut it down. He hesitated. Then turned off the screen. Far across the stars. In Draconian command, Admiral Zelter raged. 30 more ships gone? How? How? His officers trembled before him. One tried to speak. There is no pattern, my lord. No trace. It's like they're being plucked from the stars. Zelter S burned red. "We are being hunted," he whispered. Meanwhile, in the void between worlds, a stretch of empty space feared by all two Terran cruisers moved without sound. Inside, Commander Vega gave the order, "Deploy eyes." Small drones detached from the ship's thousands of them, each no larger than a fist. They spread like glitter across the stars. Their mission: watch everything dot in a quiet section of the galaxy. A draconian ship received a strange signal. Dot it was. Not a warning dot, it was a recording. A voice human, calm and clear. "This is Earth's final offer. Stay in your space. Keep your claws off our worlds. Or you will disappear, just like the others." The draconian crew stared at each other. "Is this a trick?" the captain asked. But before they could answer, their lights went out, and the ship was gone. The galaxy still didn't believe. The other races whispered, "Humans don't have this kind of power." But the silence in draconian space grew louder, and soon, too loud to ignore. Asterisk. In orbit around the draconian colony world Zarnok, the largest fleet in their empire gathered. 2,000 warships, 7 Titan-class dreadnoughts, countless fighters, destroyers, and stealth units. The pride of the draconian empire. Each ship was black, sharp, and covered in glowing red markings. From space, they looked like a swarm of fire crawling across the stars. Admiral Zelter stood on the bridge of the flagship Bloodmaw. His eyes scanned the displays. "We will crush Earth," he growled. "Their cowardly silence ends now." He didn't know Earth was already watching him. From beyond the asteroid ring, in the dark folds of uncharted space, the TSS Nightwind drifted like a ghost. Commander Vega stood silently. Her crew worked without speaking. On her screen, the draconian fleet moved into final formation. "They're ready," Sora said quietly. Vega nodded. "So are we." Then she gave the order, "Engage Phantom Protocol." One by one, ships from the Terran Shadow Fleet activated. Not with noise. Not with weapons. But with light. Invisible lasers scanned every draconian ship. AI programs mapped energy flows, shield cycles, and command signals. And then, one by one, the draconian ships started vanishing. No explosions. No fire. No alarms. Just ... Gone. On the Bloodmaw, Admiral Zelter was speaking with another commander on the holoscreen. Suddenly, the signal cut out. The commander was gone. "Communication loss," his officer said. "We're checking." "Check faster." Zelter barked. Another screen blinked. Then another. 3 ships. 10. 20. Gone. Destroyed. Not fleeing. Just missing. The bridge fell silent. "Get visuals," Zelter growled. Cameras showed nothing. Empty stars. No wreckage. No escape pods. Just space. As if the ships had never been there. Young draconian officer stepped forward, pale under his scales. "Admiral, this is impossible." Zelter turned slowly. "Nothing is impossible." "But, sir," the officer said, voice shaking, "it's like something is erasing them." The Admiral clenched his fists. "Who dares?" Then the lights on the bridge flickered, and in the silence, a sound played. A human voice, calm, cold. "This is your warning. We said not to test us." Everyone on the bridge froze. Zelter stared at the speakers. "Where is that coming from?" "No source," the tech whispered. "It's everywhere." Across the galaxy, sensors lit up. Cell RE traders near the border caught flashes of invisible movements. Vong cruisers detected gravitational flickers. Even the distant Urini, deep in dark space, reported a strange silence where the draconian fleet used to be. The news spread fast. Entire fleet missing near Zarnak. No signs, no signals. Draconian Empire refuses to comment. On Earth, President Darnell watched the feed in silence. He didn't smile. He just said, "That's one." General Reyes nodded. "We're ready for Phase 2. Any response from the Council?" The President asked. "Not yet. But they're scared." "They should be," Darnell said softly. Back in deep space, Commander Vega stared at her black screen. No victory celebration. No cheers. Just quiet focus. Sora looked at her. "They'll come harder now." "They always do," Vega said. "But they don't understand yet." She stepped away from the screen. "We never wanted war. But if they want to erase us..." She looked at the stars. "We'll erase them first." On a hidden relay station near the Orion Drift, a lone Zellari technician received a file. He wasn't supposed to see it. It was footage. Draconian dreadnought. Then static. Then gone. Frame by frame, the ship simply blinked. Like someone cut it. From space. No weapon. No beam. No explosion. Just silence. He whispered, "What are the humans?" But no one answered. In the next days, 6 more Draconian fleets would vanish far below the Rocky Mountains. Deeper than any known base sat a hidden command center. Few on Earth even knew it existed. They called it Vault Orion. Inside, thick steel doors sealed away something ancient, something older than the Cian Council itself. Only one voice had the clearance to open it. President Darnell stood before the final. "Lock. Activate Terran protocol," he said. A calm female voice replied from the wall. "Confirmed. Terran protocol online. Warning. Actions are irreversible." Darnell placed his hand on the scanner. The door opened with a slow, grinding hiss. Inside, Vault Orion was no ordinary war room. There were no blinking red lights. No alarms. No missiles. Just a giant round table. And 12 empty chairs. Each chair represented one project. Each project, one nightmare. The last time this room was opened was 117 years ago, during the Titan Rebellion. Only one file remained active. Project Eclipse. General Reyes entered the room. His eyes locked onto the center screen, already glowing. "Is it time?" he asked. Darnell nodded. "The fleets are gone. Now we show the galaxy what they never wanted to see." High above Earth, in orbit, 5 unmarked ships separated from a civilian satellite cluster. No engines. No visible weapons. They looked like floating chunks of metal. But inside them lived something else. An intelligence that had waited for decades. Code name Black ICE, Earth's first fully sentient military high. Its only mission, prevent extinction. And its only target, threats that refuse to listen. Across space, in a hidden Terran listening post near Draconian territory, Commander Vega received a message. Not from Earth's military, not from the President, but from Black ICE. It blinked on her screen as glowing text. Eclipse active. Permission granted to engage total ghost warfare. Vega turned to her crew. "Now we show them what real silence feels like." Meanwhile, in the Galactic Council chambers, chaos had begun. The council leader, a long-necked Vol, shouted above the noise, "We demand answers. How does Earth erase entire fleets without firing a single shot?" The Draconian ambassador bared his fangs. "They're using Forbidden's tech, dimensional warping, wormhole slicing." Ambassador Elise Monroe from Earth stood quietly. She looked at the floor, then raised her eyes. When she spoke, her voice was steady. "We asked to be left alone." The hall quieted. "We offered peace. You answered with laughter. You sent fleets. We asked again. You mocked us." She held up a crystal. "This is your final warning." The crystal played a short clip, just 3 seconds. A Draconian dreadnought slowly dissolving into black static. No explosion, no escape, just vanishing. "You think we use Forbidden's tech," she said. "You're wrong." Her eyes grew cold. We became what you feared, because you gave us no choice. On the draconian homeworld, alarms rang through. The capital city, military forces scrambled to form new fleets, but in their hangars, the ships were already failing. Engines wouldn't start. Computers froze. Lights flickered across their entire network. A virus was spreading. Silent. Instant. It didn't destroy, it erased. It removed the ships from existence code, coordinates, even registry. As if they had never been built. Back on Earth, President Darnell received the latest report. 87 draconian vessels gone in under an hour, the aide said. No counterstrike, no survivors. He didn't cheer. He didn't celebrate. He just stared out the window. They asked for war, he said softly. We gave them absence. Kyren, the young tech on Ganymede, watched the incoming data in disbelief. Wasn't high rank. He wasn't even cleared to know the truth. But the numbers kept falling. He whispered to himself, is this what we really are? And still, Earth stayed silent. No victory speeches. No demands. No flags. Only a message broadcast to the stars. We have no empire. We seek no conquest. But if you threaten our peace, we will remove you from the sky. The galaxy listened. And, for the first time in 1,000 years, there was silence. True silence. The kind that only comes when fear becomes respect. All without a single shot fired from Earth. The galaxy watched in fear. Earth said nothing. They didn't need to. The stars were speaking for them. The Galactic Council's chambers were packed. For the first time in history. Every known species was present. Even the mysterious Orci had sent a delegate, a glowing sphere that floated silently in the corner. The air was heavy with fear. Screens around the room showed a single, unchanging headline. Draconian fleets missing Earth silent. Ambassadors whispered, argued, and demanded answers. But no one had them, because Earth had not explained anything. Not a word, not a threat. Just vanishing fleets. And silence. A council member from the feathered Zarni pounded her clawed hand on the table. This is not normal warfare. They are breaking every law of space. A deep-voiced Therex ambassador snarled. We warned the Draconians not to provoke them. Earth gave many chances. The Draconian ambassador stood slowly, his face pale, his pride cracked. We underestimated them, he said quietly. We believed them primitive. We believed the laughter meant power. He looked around the chamber. We were wrong. At that moment, a single figure stepped onto the main platform. Ambassador Elise Monroe of Earth. She walked calmly, slowly, as if the tension in the room didn't touch her. She wore no armor, no weapons. Just a simple black suit with a silver Earth pin on her chest. All eyes turned to her. Elise placed a small cube on the center table. Before I play this recording, she said softly, I want to ask something. No one spoke. Why? She asked. Did you all laugh? Silence. She looked around. When we came to this council, we came with peace. We brought technology. We joined your talks. We signed your codes. She paused. But you laughed. You pointed at our small ships, our simple language, our slow progress. The Zelari representative tried to speak, but Elise raised her hand. You never asked why we built the way we did, why we moved slowly, why we hid our strongest minds in silence. She tapped the cube. The room darkened. A recording began. It was footage from a stealth drone above Draconian space. 12 massive warships were floating near a red sun. Then nothing. No explosion. No sound. No warning. Each ship blinked then. Vanished. The footage paused. Gasps filled the room. Elise spoke again. That was last week. She tapped the cube again. Another file played. This time, from the flagship Bloodmaw. A brief moment showed Admiral Zelter standing, then static dot, then empty space. Gone in 0.4 seconds, Elise said. That was 2 days ago. She looked directly at the council leader. We are not asking for war. She turned to the Draconian ambassador. We are not asking for apologies. Her voice lowered. We are asking for memory. Back on Earth, the Shadow Fleet remained cloaked across 5 sectors. Commander Vega received encrypted messages from Faye. 5 systems. Draconian systems silent. No new deployments. Galactic channels requesting human explanation. Vega sat back in her chair. They want us to speak. Sora, her second in command, looked uneasy. Maybe we should. They're afraid, but they don't understand yet. Vega nodded. That's why we stay quiet. In the outer system of Telvar Ix, a Zyran explorer ship floated near a Terran signal beacon. They had ignored it at first, thinking it was inactive. But then the beacon turned toward them, and spoke. A human voice, soft and calm. This is a Terran. Observation zone. You are free to leave unharmed. But know this, our silence is not weakness. It is the storm that waits. The Zyran ship turned around immediately. They would not return. In the Galactic Council. After Elise finished, no one laughed. No one mocked. The Voln ambassador finally spoke. What do you want from us, human? Elise simply replied, nothing. The room froze. You don't want land? Tribute? Power? Elise shook her head. We want peace. She stepped back, lifting the cube. But if peace is denied, she let the silence finish the sentence. In hidden corners of the galaxy, alien warlords deactivated old plans to invade Earth. In pirate strongholds, rumors spread like fire. The humans erased a fleet without firing a weapon. They command silence, and the silence obeys. And in every military briefing across the stars, one new rule was added to the books. Do not provoke Earth. For the first time in galactic history, it was no longer Earth asking for respect. It was the galaxy hoping not to be seen. Draconia Prime. Once the jewel of a brutal empire, its sky always filled with warships, black banners, and deep red suns. Now, the sky was quiet. Too quiet. No ships hovered above the capital. No blinking lights. No formations of dreadnoughts showing off their strength. Just emptiness. And fear. High, Warlord Krezel stood on the palace tower, staring into the sky. His claws twitched. Empire's pride. Its legendary fleet was gone. No wreckage. No transmissions. Just absence. He turned to his war minister. How many remain? He asked. The minister hesitated. Krezel's voice turned sharp. I asked you a question. The minister bowed. 3 cruisers. 2 patrol ships. That is all. Krezel gritted his teeth. Out of thousands? The minister nodded. All others have vanished. In the capital streets, civilians whispered. Some said Earth had gods on their side. Others claimed Earth had built a weapon that deleted time itself. Most simply stayed indoors and prayed. Above Draconia, a small moon used for military command flickered. Its systems were failing, one by one. Its internal lights shut off. No alarms. Just darkness. Inside the moon's control room. I woke up. But it wasn't Draconian. It was Terran. Black ICE protocol. Clean sweep. The Draconian engineers on board had only seconds to realize what was happening. Then the floor vanished. The room blinked. And the moon itself disappeared. In the Galactic Council, panic spread. Footage arrived within minutes. The entire Draconian command moon gone. Elise Monroe stood again before the council. She didn't raise her voice. She simply asked, how many warnings did we give them? No one answered. In deep orbit, Commander Vega monitored quiet space.SOR, whispered. They're pulling back from every border now. Even pirate guilds are avoiding Terran zones. Vega stared ahead. This is what they never understood. She said, "We didn't want this war, but now we will finish it without firing a shot." She pressed a command. Dozens of Terran drones activated across Draconian space. Not to attack, but to watch. Each one sent a message across known space. This sector is under Terran silence. Enter at your own risk. On Draconia Prime, Warlord, Krezel called for one last meeting. All surviving leaders gathered. Their faces were pale, their eyes full of shame. Krezel stood slowly. "We are no longer rulers of the stars," he said. "We mocked a world that only wanted peace. We believed silence was weakness." He looked around, but now we know it was their strength. He removed his command badge and placed it on the table. Draconia surrenders. Unofficially. Quietly. That same day, a Terran transmission arrived. One sentence. No threat. No. Demand. Just words. The skies above you are empty, because we have no more to erase. In every system once controlled by Draconia, screens went dark, then blinked to life. A single Terran message displayed in every known language. "We are not your enemy. We are your warning." Kyren, the young tech on Ganymede, sat watching the live galaxy feeds. Map after map updated. Every Draconian fleet removed. Just like that, he whispered. He looked up at the stars. And for the first time, he felt something strange. Not fear. Not pride. But awe. Back on Earth, President Darnell met with General Reyes in a quiet garden. No war rooms. No screens. Just silence. "They're done," Reyes said. Darnell nodded. "And us?" Reyes gave a small smile. "We go quiet again." The president looked to the sky. "Let them remember this silence," he said. "Let them fear it forever." The galaxy had changed. No explosions. No great battles. No fleets standing in triumph. Just one silence. And the name whispered everywhere. On Earth. In a distant corner of space, a small mining ship passed through what used to be Draconian territory. No patrols stopped it. No warnings. Just empty systems, quiet planets, and blank star maps. The miners spoke in hushed voices. One of them pointed at an old navigation marker. Burned into it were just two words: "Still watching." They turned their ship around without a word. At the Galactic Council, a new emergency meeting was held. This time, there was no shouting. No accusations. Just fear. And something else. Respect. They had all seen it now. The power that didn't roar, didn't boast, didn't conquer. A power that simply erased threats and then disappeared. At the center of the council chamber, a message began playing. It had arrived on a crystal, hand-delivered by Earth's envoy. There were no guards with her. No weapons. She said nothing, only bowed, placed the crystal, and left. The council leader inserted the crystal, and the voice began. A human voice. Not loud. Not angry. Just calm. 2. All sentient races across known space. We are the children of Earth. We were born in fire, raised in war, shaped by struggle, but we chose peace. We came to you not as rulers, not as soldiers, but as partners. You mocked us. You challenged us. You threatened our world. We responded once. Let that be enough. We do not want your colonies. We do not want your stars. We want only one thing: to be left alone. The screen showed Earth from space. Blue, quiet, untouched. Then the message continued, "But if our silence is tested again, we will not warn you twice. We will not conquer you. We will simply remove you." The council sat in frozen silence. No one moved, That no one spoke. Even the arrogant Solari ambassador sat with eyes downcast. In Draconia Prime. Warlord. Krezel watched the same message in his private chamber. When it ended, he turned to his daughter. "Write it down," he said. "Father?" she asked. He stared at the black screen. Those words. "Teach them to every Draconian child." Back on Earth, President Darnell stood alone on the balcony of Unity Tower. Below him, life was normal. Children played in the parks. Ships lifted off calmly from spaceports. No parades. No celebrations. Because there was no war to celebrate. Only a silence. Finally understood. In Vault Orion, the AI Black ICE powered down its external systems. Its voice whispered one final report into the records. Threat neutralized. Humanity still prefers peace. Silence remains protected. Somewhere beyond the stars, a small alien child asked her parent, "Is Earth real?" The parent nodded. "But no one ever sees them," the child said. The parent held her close. "That's how you know they're still watching." And so it ended. Not with a blast. Not with a throne, but with a message. A warning written into the stars. One that would never be forgotten. One that would be passed down from generation to generation. Do not mistake Earth's silence for weakness. It is their final mercy.